Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in MLS Mext Pro. What we will do is we will go over the last 7 days, get you ready for the next 7 days. The busy Sunday, as always, when it comes to match weeks. Go through all the news and notes and everything that has gone on over the last little bit. When it comes to MLS Mext Pro, go over the standings and let you get prepped for the weekend. As always, we go backward before we go forward. Friday, April the 7th, Austin FC 2 with a 2-1 win over Tacoma Defiance. That one was at Palmer Field. In that particular game for Austin FC, goals at the 84th and at 90+4 have Austin FC coming all the way back. Cristo Vela with the dramatic game winner as Alonso Ramirez got the goal from the spot as they were down 1-0. You had Abdoulaye Sissoko getting on the board for Defiance in the 22nd, but a red card meant that Tacoma would be battling the final 25 minutes or so down a man, and that was when Ramirez and Vela get the goals for Austin FC and full points for Verde over the Defiance by the score of 2-1. Also on your Friday night at City Park, Houston Dynamo 2 over St. Louis City 2 by the final of 3-1. In that one, you had a goal early on by City. John Klein scoring in the 4th minute to give them a 1-0 lead, but back came Dynamo 2. It was Diego Gonzalez and Papa Ndoy scoring to get it to 2-1. Dynamo 2 at the break. They would add a third early in the second half. Jacob Evans with the score, and that would mean that it was a 3-1 final for Houston Dynamo 2 on the road. Big win over St. Louis City 2. That set everything up for Sunday, and our first game of the week from the East in the Central Division, FC Cincinnati 2 and Hunt City. With the highlights, it's Mo Carter and our friends at Fox 54, Huntsville, with the breakdown of FC Cincinnati 2 and Hunt City.
And welcome back, everyone. After dropping their first game of the season last week, the guys with Huntsville City FC looking to get back into the win column. Once again, they'd have to do it on the road. HCFC up north today taking on FC Cincinnati 2. Ollie Wright putting Huntsville on the board first as he fires a rocket into the back of the net for a score. Huntsville City FC up 1-0 as we go into the halftime break. So as we come out of the locker room for the second half, FC Cincinnati 2 draws even. Archimedes Adanez dribbles through the Huntsville defense, fires a high shot and goes through the back of the net. We're tied at 1 around the 59-minute mark. That won't last long. About 10 minutes later, Huntsville on the attack. First shot off the mark, but Danny Griffin is there for the putback score on the rebound. It was 2-1 at that point. ACFC outdoes FC Cincy 2 and claims a victory. Final score 2-2 in regulation, 7-6 in penalty kicks. Sean Suber with the game winner in PKs. Jack Collison happy about the win, but he also sees a need for improvement in several areas.
Beautiful save.
We do great to get back in the lead through Danny Griffin, and then concede again. So frustrating to concede 6 goals in the first 3 games. Obviously an error we've got to address, especially when we've been so dominant in possession with the ball, creating chances.
So Hunt City winning 7-6 on PKs, getting the extra point at Northern Kentucky University Soccer Stadium. Also in the East, Orlando City B with a 2-0 win over Inter Miami 2. That one was at Osceola Heritage Park. In that match, Jack Lynn gets a goal for OCB in the 4th minute. Fabian Loyola gets the second goal in the 40th minute, and that's all that OCB would need with their 2-0 win over Inter Miami 2. Also on the board, it was a Sporting Kansas City 2 over LAFC 2 by the score of 2-1. That one was at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence. In that one, Poe Vidal scores in the 70th minute. Ozzy Cisneros gives Sporting Kansas City to a 2-0 lead in the 70th with 20 to go. Then Elaji Mal scores for LAFC 2 4 minutes later. So Sporting Kansas City 2 gets their first victory of the young season with the 2-1 win over LAFC 2. At SeatGeek in Bridgeview, Columbus Crew 2 with a 1-0 win over Chicago Fire. Fire were down a man after 39 minutes, and Gibran Rayo got the late winner to lift Crew 2 over Fire 2 with the final score of 1-0. That goal in the 88th minute. NYCFC 2 at Belson Stadium shuts out Atlanta United 2 by the final of 2-0. In this one, it was pretty back and forth early on, but then it was Justin Hack with a goal in the 8th minute. Atlanta United 2 having to work their way uphill from that moment. Andres Jason scores in the 77th, so it's a shutout for NYCFC 2 at Belson over Atlanta United 2. Also on the board, it was Crown Legacy beating New York Red Bull at Montclair by the final of 3-1. So 3 goals on the board for Crown Legacy in this one. And Wiki Carmona actually scores for Red Bull to give them a 1-0 lead in the 8th minute. But Yuri Teixeira, with a brace, only took him 5 minutes to get it, 52nd and the 57th. Then Marko Filipovic scores in the 78th. So Tavares' brace gives Crown Legacy FC the win by the final of 3-1. Also out west at PayPal Park, Real Monarchs over San Jose Earthquakes 2 by the score of 1-0. Only goal of the match, Taryn Williams scoring with 15 minutes to go. So the Real Monarchs getting the win over Quakes 2. Also on the board at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, Minnesota United FC2 with a 2-1 win over Los Dos. In that one, it was 2 goals early in the match, got the game off to a roaring start. Tani Oluwasei for Loons 2 in the 3rd. Brandon Tellis for the Galaxy in the 6th, made it 1-1. Then Emmanuel Iwe scores in the 36th. That was the only goals. That was the goals in the first half, none in the second half, and that was your score, and that was your final. 2-1 after 36, 2-1 after 90. So Minnesota United FC2 gets full points in that one with a win on the road. Our other match from the West that we're going to keep an eye on, Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 at Choctaw Stadium against North Texas SC. Lightning fast start for the visitors. Here's your highlights courtesy of our friends at MLS Next Pro, Apple TV, and YouTube.
Of course, very dangerous. Hope Aveyevu, Jose Malato, Bernard Kamungo will lead the line. And in goal tonight, Karifa Yao, who will get the start there in central defense. A few changes will include Cameron Habibullah. We are just about ready to go. There's the whistle from Melvin Rivas, and we are underway. Vancouver Whitecaps 2 and North Texas Soccer Club for the first time. North Texas trying to get this away. Fry trying to keep it alive. It's knocked forward. It's Yao off the post. Hands straight to his head. Second chance, and this one's buried. And Vancouver Whitecaps 2 grab the opener. It's Gloria Manda. The pressure finally pays off, and Whitecaps 2 lead 1-0 in Texas. Just on the recycle, it was Yao originally who went off the post. And then just able to stand this back up into the middle. Chance to send this in once again for Vancouver. Towards the near post, flicked along and tapped in! What a goal for Vancouver Whitecaps 2! And they have a second here early on. Getting that flick at the near post. Lander was there to bury it. It's now a goal and an assist. Here comes Vancouver, looking for more. This is slipped in behind. It's what a ball that is! Now for the finish, and there it is! Levante Johnson! And Vancouver Whitecaps 2 running riot in North Texas. But that ball to unlock the back line was piercing. Johnson able to cut this back, and what a finish that is. In swinger, headed away by Linder. Plaza gets it out wide. Aveyevu with the service coming in. Oh, it was right there for Henry. A chance there at the back post. Loose pass on the clearance, but it is chased down by Nolan Norris. And space to run into now. It's Rose. Tyshawn Rose. As Yao beat for pace, he goes down. It's a penalty. Stepping up to the spot, Andre Costa. Big chance early in this match to pull one back for North Texas. Costa, it's saved! Right back in front, he slots it home. Andre Costa able to make this 3-1. And now Costa was trying to get that ball back from Anchor, and what's the decision going to be here from the referee? Herdman to deliver, and this one is headed in, and that should really put it away now for Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Giovanni Aguilar gets his first of the night, and Whitecaps 2 lead by 3. Look at it here. Great service put in by Jay Herdman. It was missed by Justin Stewart. And waiting as Pepe gets back to his feet. And the referee will bring this one to a close. It's a dominating victory tonight for Vancouver Whitecaps 2.
So Whitecaps with a goal in the 13th, goal in the 16th, goal in the 18th. Gloire Amanda, Finn Linder, Levante Johnson, 3-0 lead early on. Andre Luis Costa with the rebound after the penalty kick attempt made it 3-1. Then Giovanni Aguilar in at the 84th, fourth goal on the board for Whitecaps 2. So Whitecaps FC 2 getting full points. And then Colorado Rapids 2 over T2. Timbers getting doubled up by the final of 4-2. In this one, it was the first goal on his way to a brace. Calvin Harris scoring in the 5th. Yosuke Hanya scoring in the 54th. Then it was a 2-1. Noel Caliscan for T2 scoring in the 73rd, wasting no time. Rapids 2 with Michael Edwards made it 3-1 just as quick. Then it was 3-2 5 minutes later with 10 to go. Jaden Jones-Riley scoring to make it 3-2, and then Calvin Harris gets the brace on the back end, scoring in the 5th and the 86th. Colorado Rapids 2 with a 4-2 win over Timbers 2. And that sets us up for what has gone on so far this week. Back on Monday, New England Revolution 2, 5-1 winners over Philadelphia Union 2. That one was at Gillette, and it was a very, very busy night for New England Revolution 2. Actually, to be honest, the Union had the lead after the first handful of minutes. Stojanovic with a PK put Union 2 on the board. Stefan Stojanovic with a PK in the 10th. Then Damian Rivera scores in the 21st. Jordan Adebayo-Smith scores in the 29th. Esmir Bayraktarovic scores in the 49th. Then you have Malcolm Fry scoring in the 54th. Brandon Bueno scoring from the spot in the 89th. So the goal in the 10th gave the Union 2 the lead, but they gave up 5 after that. So Revolution 2 with the 5-1 win back on Monday. And on Wednesday, Austin FC 2 is a part of Copa Tejas, shutting out North Texas SC at Palmer Field by the score of 3-0. And in that one for Austin FC 2, it was a brace for Valentin Noel within 4 minutes and in the first 12 minutes of the match. And then Alfonso Ocampo Chavez scoring in the 13th. 3 goals in the first 13 minutes at Palmer, and Austin FC 2, 3-0 winners over North Texas SC. So that sets up the standings as we get ready for what's going on the weekend. Going through your divisions in the Eastern Conference up in the Northeast. 3 matches played for the Revs. Revs 2, 9 points. They've run the table so far. Crown Legacy FC with 7 points. NYCFC 2 matches, 3 points. Red Bulls 2, they have played 3 matches, 3 points. TFC 2, Philadelphia Union 2, still chasing after their first point of the season. TFC 2 has lost both of their matches. Union 2 have lost all 3 of theirs. They've given up 10 goals in those 3 matches. In the Central, Orlando City B, 3 matches, 9 points. Fire 2, 3 matches, 2 wins and a loss at 6 points. Crew 2 at 5. FC Cincinnati 2 in 3 matches. They have 4 points. Same as Hunt City. FC Cincinnati has a goal difference +1 to -1. Inter Miami 2 at 3 points after 3 matches. Atlanta United 2 with 1 point after 3 matches. In the West and the Frontier, after 4 matches, Austin FC 2 has 10 points. Minnesota United FC 2 with 9 points in 3 matches. Same for Colorado Rapids 2. Loons 2 ahead on goal difference. 4 matches, 6 points for North Texas SC. 3 matches, 5 points for Sporting Kansas City 2. 3 matches, 3 points for Houston Dynamo 2. 3 matches, 1 point for St. Louis City 2. They've given up 7 goals on the year, having only scored 3. And in the Pacific, it is Whitecaps 2, 3 matches, 8 points. Earthquakes 2 with 6 points in 3 matches. Tacoma Defiance 1-1-1 with a shootout win. They've got 5 points. Rail Monarchs at 3 points. LAFC 2 with 1 point in 3 matches. And it is T2 and Galaxy 2. T2 and Los Dos, 3 matches, all 3 losses. And they have been outscored a total of 14-4 in those matches so far. So it's your rundown of everything going on in MLS Next Pro. NYCFC, in news and notes, signed defender Steven Turnbull to a first-team contract. And the news on Turnbull, through 23 with options for 24 and 25. First NYCFC 2 player to sign a first-team contract, the 39th player from MLS Next Pro to sign an MLS first-team deal. Made his right-back debut this season against Chicago Fire, match day 2. Entered the game on the weekend against the Revs on match day 6. Joined the first team on a series of short-term loans from NYCFC 2 this season. Quote from Stephen Lee, David Lee, the sporting director. Quote from Steven Turnbull. He featured for NYCFC 2 at the back after signing from Stony Brook in February of 22. 23 matches, the attacking fullback, 5 goals, 4 assists, passing just under 83% and just under 2,000 minutes played. So Steven Turnbull signs with the NYCFC through 23 with options for 24 and 25. So that sets up everything. Once again, reminder, go to MLSNextPro.com for all the information that you need when you're not listening to it here. Don't forget to follow along on Instagram and on Twitter and all the social media platforms attached to MLS Next Pro. So that sets us up for the weekend that will be in MLS Next Pro. Starting off on your Friday, 3 matches. So it's Friday, Sunday, traditionally, as it always is. Friday at 7 o'clock at Mecklenburg at Matthews at his Crown Legacy FC, hosting Inter Miami 2. That is on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. All 3 matches on Friday are Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. York Lions Stadium in Toronto, TFC 2 hosting NYCFC 2. 10 o'clock Eastern, Real Monarchs at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah, hosting Sporting Kansas City 2. Also on the board on your Sunday, early start at historic Crew Stadium, Crew 2 hosting New England Revolution 2. That is on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. MLSNextPro.com has Austin FC 2 at Palmer Field at 7 o'clock Eastern, hosting St. Louis City 2, and Chicago Fire 2, hosting Philadelphia Union 2 in Bridgeview at SeatGeek. Apple TV Season Pass has Red Bulls hosting Hunt City. That is on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass from Montclair State. From the Fraction, Fifth Third Bank Stadium, it is Atlanta United 2 hosting Orlando City B. And Houston Dynamo 2 at 7:30 is hosting LAFC 2 from SaberCat Stadium. MLS Next Pro at 8 o'clock, it is San Jose Earthquakes 2 hosting Colorado Rapids 2 from PayPal Park. And on MLSNextPro.com, it is Whitecaps FC 2 hosting Los Dos. Your late match, 8:30 on Sunday night, is North Texas SC hosting Minnesota United FC 2 from Choctaw. That is 8:30 Eastern Time. That is on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. Also getting you ready for the next 7 days in the weekend. So it's a pretty clean week. That's all the action. No midweek matches this week. The next matches coming up after Sunday are your doubleheader, your 2 matches on Friday, April 21st to get you through and get you started into match week number 5. So that's your quick rundown of everything that is going on in MLS Next Pro. If you are in market and can catch matches involving teams with MLS Next Pro, please do. You get to see the next generation and the next wave of talent trying to work their way into Major League Soccer or leagues around the world, and you get to see it up close and personal. If you are in market and can't catch the match locally, be sure to follow along in your local providers. If you're out of market and can't follow along and be there in person, catch up once again on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass and MLSNextPro.com. So for everybody here at SDH, for Jarrett, for Jason, for Nick, I'm just John. Thanks for hanging out with us. That's your rundown of MLS Next Pro. Played safe, everybody. Mucha platio. Enjoy the games.